Welcome to Driving TV. Today we're diving into the very first steps of learning how to drive. This video is specifically designed for those of you who have never driven before and have no idea where to start. By the end of this video, you will have a solid foundation to build as you continue your driving journey. So without saying no more, let's get started right away. Understanding the car's basic controls. Let's begin by making ourselves familiar with the car. So first up is the steering wheel. This is what you'll use to control the direction of the car. When you turn it left, the car will go left. And when you turn it right, the car goes right. It's important to note that small movements of the steering wheel can make a big difference in the car's direction. So always start with gentle turns, especially when you're just beginning. Next, let's talk about the pedals. In most cars, there are two pedals, one for the gas and one for the brake. The gas pedal is on the right. Pressing it gently will make the car move forward, and the more you press, the faster you will go. The brake pedal, which is on the left, is used to slow down or stop the car. When you press the brake, you should do it gradually to avoid sudden stops. If you're driving a manual car, there's a third pedal called the clutch, located on the far left. The clutch is used when shifting gears, but if you're a beginner, I recommend starting with an automatic car just to be more at ease and to simplify things for you. Now, let's move on to the gear shift. In an automatic car, you will see P for park, R for reverse, and N for neutral, and D for drive. When your car is parked, it should always be in P. When you want to go forward, you shift to D. And when you need to back up, you shift to R. It's crucial to be in the correct gear for your intended movement. Now, adjusting your seats and mirrors. So before you even think about turning the car on, it's essential to adjust your seat and mirrors to make sure that you have the best possible visibility and control and comfort, of course. Sit in the driver's seat and adjust it so that your feet can comfortably reach the pedals. Your knees should be slightly bent when you press the pedals fully. This allows you to have enough control over the car without straining your legs. The next thing is adjusting the seat height if your car allows it. You want to have a clear view over the steering wheel and be able to see the road ahead very comfortably. Your line of sight should be level with the road, not too high, not too low. This positioning is crucial for safe driving. Once your seat is adjusted, it's time to set your mirrors. Start with the rear view mirror. Position it so that you can see directly out the back window. You should be able to see the entire rear window without moving your head. Only your eyes should need to move to check what's behind you. Now let's adjust the side mirrors. The goal here is to minimize blind spots, which are areas around your car that you can't see using your mirrors alone. For the left mirror, lean your head to the left until it almost touches the window and adjust the mirror so you can just see the side of your car. For the right mirror, lean your head to the center of the car and adjust it just the same way. This setup should give you a good view of the lanes next to you, reducing the likelihood of missing a car in your blind spot. Getting comfortable with the car's interior. Now that your seat and mirrors are properly adjusted, it's time to get familiar with the car's interior controls. Let's start with the dashboard. This area displays crucial information about your car's performance. The speedometer tells you how fast you're going. Always keep an eye on this to make sure that you're not speeding. Next to the speedometer, you'll find the fuel gauge. This shows how much gas you have left. You'll also see many things like warning lights on the dashboard. These lights can indicate a range of things from low oil pressure to a door being opened and Yeah, I mean, it's essential to know what these lights mean so you can address any issue. Now, take a moment to locate the turn signal lever, usually found on the left side of the steering wheel. You'll use this to signal when you're turning or changing lanes. Pushing it up signals a right turn and pushing it down a left turn. It's a simple control, but it's one of the most important ones for communicating with other drivers on the road, your intentions, and avoid any misunderstandings or accidents. Finally, make yourself familiar with the windshield wiper controls. These are often on the same lever as the turn signals or on a separate lever on the right of the steering wheel. Just depends on the model of your car. Knowing how to operate your wipers is crucial. Now, starting the car and basic safety checks. Let's talk about that. It's time to start the car. But before you do, let's talk about some basic safety checks. First, make sure your seatbelt is unfastened. This is a non-negotiable. Next, check that all doors are securely closed. A door that isn't fully closed can be a distraction and a safety hazard while driving. If you're driving an automatic car, make sure the gear shift is in park. Place your foot on the brake pedal and then start the car by turning the key or pressing the start button. If you're in a manual car, make sure the gear shift is neutral. Press down on the clutch and then start the engine. Once the car is on, take a moment to listen to the engine and check the dashboard for any warning lights. If everything sounds and looks good, then you're ready for the next step. Now let's get into some basic car movements. With your foot still on the brake, shift the gear from P to D for drive if you're moving forward, or R for reverse if you're backing up. It's always crucial to always check your surroundings before moving the car. Use your mirrors and, if necessary, turn your head to make sure that the path is clear. When you're ready to move forward, slowly release the brake pedal. You'll feel the car slowly starting to move. Gently press down on the gas pedal to accelerate. It's important to keep your movements smooth and controlled. Sudden jerks can make the car difficult to manage, especially at low speeds. Now, as you begin to move, pay attention to how the car responds to your inputs. Steering should be smooth and gradual. Remember, even small turns of the wheel can have a significant impact on the car's direction. When it is time to stop, gradually press down on the brake pedal. Avoid slamming on the brakes, as this can cause the car to stop suddenly and it can be very dangerous, especially if there's traffic behind you. This process before you go to heavy traffic. Now let's get into practicing reversing and parking. So reversing can be one of the trickiest parts of driving for beginners, but with practice it becomes second nature. When you're ready to reverse, shift the gear to R for reverse, and as always, check your surroundings. Use your rear view and side mirrors if necessary. Turn your body to look out the window so you can have a better view at what's behind you and your surroundings. As you begin to reverse, remember that the car will turn in the direction that you move the steering wheel. However, the orientation is opposite to driving forward. Turning the wheel, for example, to the right makes the rear of the car go right, and turning it left makes it go left. Go slow and steady, and don't be afraid to stop and readjust if you need it. Now let's begin practicing parking, because parking is very important. Find an empty space in a parking lot where you can practice pulling into and out of parking spots. Approach the spot slowly and start turning the wheel when the front of your car is about halfway past the parking line. This will help you angle the car correctly into the spot. Once you're in the spot, straighten the wheels and center the car. Make sure you're evenly between the lines and not too close to any other vehicles or obstacles. Practice this several times until you feel comfortable with the process. And guys, that wraps up our first class. Today we covered the very basics of driving, from understanding the car's control to practicing safe driving habits. By now, you should have a solid understanding of how to get started with driving, and you should feel a bit more comfortable with the car. In our next class, we'll dive into more advanced topics like turning at intersections, changing lanes, and navigating traffic, all of these things. These skills are essential for driving on busier roads, and you will surely not want to miss it. So thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Driving TV, and turn on notifications so you will know when the next class is released. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and I'll be happy to help. See you in the next video, and remember, stay safe and keep practicing.